So you're an athlete and you've had the good sense to go plant-based, but you're unsure on the best protein sources and how to cook them? This is the video for you. Now, I get the vast majority of protein from the healthy whole plant foods that I eat. All whole plant foods contain protein, so it really adds up. Legumes are about the best source, but even fruit is about 5% protein by calorie. For a strength or physique athlete, it's useful to add in at least a couple of leaner processed protein sources, however. Today, I will explain exactly what they are, the macros and how best to cook them, so you can start adding them into your diet and get the cruel and unhealthy meat out. So here are my top 5 in no particular order. Seitan. This is made from the kind of springy textured protein found in wheat that makes bread so irresistible. It is isolated into a flour known as vital wheat gluten. As long as you're not celiac or suffering from gluten sensitivity, then it's a phenomenal protein source. Vital wheat gluten comes in at 75 grams of protein per 100 grams for only 370 calories, 13 grams of carbs, and 2 grams of fat. The only one caveat to note is that unlike the other choices I will come to, it is relatively low in one essential amino acid, in this case lysine. A non-issue for most, as we will get lots of lysine elsewhere in our healthy balanced diet, but don't make the mistake of over-consuming seitan and lacking variety. For speed, I make 8 servings at a time. Each has a massive 36 grams of protein for a meager 25 pence, but it's expensive to be vegan. You'll need 380 grams of vital wheat gluten. Take half of that and add it to a bowl along with 240 ml of water. If you like, you can add any seasonings you like at this stage, such as a teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of garlic powder, and salt and pepper to taste. Knead it for 1 minute, cut into 4 pieces and stretch them out. Add them into a pan of water, and if you're making 8 servings like me, repeat the process. Cover and gently simmer for 40 minutes. Once cooled, store in the fridge or freezer. Once thawed, they can be eaten as is, but I like to crisp up the outsides by cooking them in an air fryer at 200 degrees Celsius for 8 minutes, or you can use a conventional oven, they just take slightly longer. Serve them as you like, my preference is to have them with barbecue sauce. Number 4, tofu is made from dried soybeans that have been soaked in water, crushed and boiled. The mixture is separated into solid pulp known as okara and soy milk. Salt coagulants such as calcium chloride are added to the soy milk to separate the curds from the whey, and these curds are cut into blocks for sale. For those that struggle with food volume, most of the fibre has been removed, making it easier to eat, though we do lose about half of the mineral content during processing. But hey, there are far unhealthier things to eat. Firm textured tofu has 12 grams of protein per 100 grams for 104 calories, 2.5 grams of carbs, and 5.5 grams of fat. It's extremely versatile. Typically it will be chopped into cubes, marinated and roasted, or fried if you don't care about your health. But today I'm going to show you how to scramble it. Take a 400 gram block of firm tofu and press the water out. You can use a special tofu press as I am here, or wrap the tofu in a clean tea towel and place a couple of heavy books on top. Set aside for 10 minutes. Steam fry chopped onions and mushrooms for 5 minutes. Crumble half of your tofu into the pan and fry until the pan starts to dry out, at which point add turmeric, black pepper and garlic powder. If you want a really eggy taste, then black salt known as kala namak can be added too. Also add cherry tomatoes and spinach and cook for a further minute or so until the spinach is wilted. Silken tofu has more water content than firm and is very mushy. It can be made into a myriad of things such as sauces, dips and desserts. It has 7 grams of protein per 100 grams for only 62 calories, 2 grams of carbs and 3 grams of fat. My favourite silken tofu recipe is chocolate mousse. For those that struggle with volume, it's good to have an easy to eat dessert option that's rich in protein. To a blender, add a 350 gram pack of silken tofu, 100 grams of dates, 1 to 2 tablespoons of almond butter and a tablespoon of cocoa powder, and blend until smooth. If you find the mixture is too thick, add a little plant milk at a time as necessary. Was that easy enough for you? Number 2, tempeh. Although tempeh is processed, it's more akin to a whole food. 2 whole foods molded together into blocks in fact. Fermented whole soybeans and mycelium, the roots of mushrooms. Its slightly nutty flavour can be a bit of an acquired taste, but like its cousin tofu, the magic is all in the marinade. It can be used as a cooking ingredient to make things like burgers and meatballs, but it's more usually cut into pieces to be marinated and roasted. My favourite version of this is tempeh bacon, which is what I'm going to demonstrate today. This extremely healthy food has 20 grams of protein per 100 grams for only 195 calories, 7.5 grams of carbs, and 11.5 grams of fat. For tempeh bacon, take a 200 gram block of tempeh and cut into thin strips. To a bowl, add 2 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of maple syrup, and 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and mix. Add in the tempeh and coat well. Cook in an air fryer at 200 degrees Celsius for around 14 minutes until golden, or in a preheated oven at the same temperature for 15 to 20 minutes. I like to serve mine in a sandwich or crumbled into a salad with a lemon tahini dressing. And finally, textured vegetable protein, or TVP. This is what's left when oil is extracted from soya beans. Okay, you're losing a few fat-soluble nutrients, but you're left with all the fibre and the myriad of water-soluble nutrients. It comes in dried chunks and mince, and once hydrated and cooked, replicates different types of meat. You can also get it frozen and ready to go. The dried product has a whopping 50 grams of protein per 100 grams for only 330 calories, 16.5 grams of carbs, and 1 gram of fat. I typically make curries and chilies, etc. with this stuff. Today I'm going to show you how to make a super quick bolognese. For this example, we're using the dried version. There is a dark option available which uses caramel colouring, which is a known carcinogen, so I prefer to buy the natural light variety. Add the product to freshly boiled water or stock and let it sit for 10 minutes. Drain and squeeze out any excess water. Steam fry until browned. It's best to make your own sauces from scratch obviously, but we found that lots of quite healthy oil-free jarred tomato sauces are available, such as Solmio and some supermarket owned brands, so if you're in a rush, these are a great option. Processed tomatoes also release much more lycopene, a powerful carotenoid antioxidant. Good luck on your vegan journey. If you'd like to take all the guesswork out, then check out my online coaching service. It's bespoke to you as an individual rather than being cookie cutter, which is why it works so well. I leverage a state-of-the-art app for exercise forms, stat tracking and daily DM access, bespoke nutrition and workout plans, and a weekly Zoom call to keep you held accountable. If that sounds like it could be of interest to you, check out the link below. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video.